Yet, you the wait make Niger change for you. My brother, my sister, you say change.
Oh yeah, see that Niger pikin wey pack dirty wey block gutter wey dey cause flood.
Abba, Niger pikin, make we dey care for our environment.
Gen Z is no one work. Now quick cash them they find.
Just like that, boys don't turn Pablo. And girls?
Hablets.
Wetin dey happen?
We dey argue online, spread fake news with our full chest, divide ourselves on top religion, tribe, and politics matter.
But we go dey shout, no unity for Naija.
My brother, my sister, unity begins with you.
Someone japa, nobody wants stay.
But who go fix Niger if no be you?
Omo, you go stay o.
Naija dey wait for us same way we dey wait for Naija.
That na why National Orientation Agency don't bring this better ogbonge plan we go change the game. That na 7 for 7 agenda. 7 promises from leaders and 7 citizen codes.
Equality, democracy, entrepreneurship, employment, peace and security, inclusivity, justice, meritocracy. Now the Niger promises.
But without our own discipline, duty of care and tolerance, respect and true leadership, transparency we all need, environmental awareness, resiliency no go walk.
7 promises, them don't talk am. 7 codes, now we go do am o. No dey wait, no dey look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Naija. Leave bribery, wash your hands, come out from mago ways. Talk true when you see security concern now all of us.
No dey complain about Naija, complaining no dey change am o. If you be true Nigerian, if you be ogbonge Naija, if we want better tomorrow, now we go make am work today.
Hey, 7 promises, them don't talk am. 7 codes, now we go do am o. No dey wait, no dey look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Naija. Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and Rivers. Oh, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, Edo, and Rivers. Oh, 7 promises, them don't talk am. 7 codes, now we go do am o. No dey wait, no dey look face, join body make we run the race. Now you and me, now you and me, now you and me, go fix our Naija.
If we be true Nigerians, we go rise hand in hand. Uphold the 7 for 7 agenda for Naija, our home, our pride, and our strength.
Powered by National Orientation Agency.
Shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Mr. Ofamiloni, and here's to VOP TV. Keep watching, stay tuned, do not touch that dial.
Arararara, my name is Made Kuti, and you're watching VOP TV. Keep watching.
Welcome, my name is Zika Davis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys, viewers, everybody, boys and girls. This is VOP TV. Do you know what that means? Voice of the People TV. You don't have a voice, don't come here. You better make sure your voice is heard.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise
as a distraction from the need to provide housing for the displaced.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz.
Well, hello and welcome to the Midday News and Voice of the People Television. I am David Edwin. First, the headlines. Turkish officials downplayed Tinubu's stumble roll. APC governors call for transparency ahead of party congress. NSCDC denies withholding staff promotions, salary arrears. Lawmakers urges Soludo to reconsider Onitsha market closure. Lagos police deny shooting anti-demolition protesters. Kano government vows to end the Emirates tussle. In the world of business, federal government lowers entry barriers as 50 oil blocks open for bidding. In sports, Confederation of African Football slams Senegal, Morocco for final chaos. And in the world of entertainment, court sends Angelo Correa to Suleja prison. Another news in full. Turkish officials have dismissed the controversy in Nigeria over President Bola Tinubu's brief stumble during his official visit to Turkey. Chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabirerewa, disclosed this while responding to a post on X, noting that the visit was being widely celebrated in Turkey. President Tinubu briefly stumbled on Tuesday during a ceremonial march past at the parade ground in Ankara, but quickly regained his footing and program continued without disruptions. Reacting earlier, the president's special advisor of media and public communication, Sunday Dari, said President Tinubu remained hale and hearty and went on with his official engagement. Similarly, the president's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga, described the incidents as minor. And in politics, the Progressive Governors Forum has called for transparency and coordinated management of party congresses and the forthcoming National Convention. Forum Chairman and Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma made the call while presenting a communique after a meeting with APC leadership in Abuja. Uzodinma said transparency, consistency, and accountability must guide the process to strengthen trust and credibility within the party, stressing the need for responsible leadership, clear communication, and collective discipline. He reaffirmed the forum's commitment to deepening internal democracy, strengthening party structures, and promoting inclusiveness nationwide. The governors also welcomed a briefing on the APC's national e-registration and digital membership update, which Uzodinma said would enhance data-driven planning and grassroots engagement. He added that the forum endorsed the timetable and institutional framework approved by the party's National Executive Committee for the upcoming congresses and convention, and commended the APC leadership under National Chairman Professor Nentawe Yuwatda. Moving on, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has clarified reports alleging non-payments of promotion and salary arrears under its current leadership. The clarification follows complaints by some personnel who say promotion arrears from 2022 to 2024 are yet to be paid despite repeated assurances. In a statement, NSCDC spokesperson Afolabi Babawale said the Commandant General Abubakar Odi does not control the payment of salaries or promotion arrears. He explained that responsibility lies with the Presidential Committee on Arrears, chaired by the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation and the Accountant General of the Federation. Babawale added that the current leadership inherited 5 years of unpaid arrears on assumption of office in 2021 and has since facilitated the payment of arrears from 2015 to 2019, benefiting over 37,000 personnel. He said official records show progress has been made in settling outstanding arrears, contrary to claims that no payments have been made since 2022. Meanwhile, member representing Ogbaru Federal Constituency in Anambra State in the House of Representatives, Afam Ogene, has urged the Anambra State Governor, Charles Soludo, to reconsider his decision on the closure of the Onitsha main market. Ogene, in a statement, expressed concerns that the one-week closure would inadvertently cause further hardship and economic losses to thousands of traders, as well as have a detrimental impact on the state's economy. He therefore called on Governor Soludo to embrace dialogue with market leaders with the aim of diplomatically resolving the situation. The lawmaker noted that the governor's directive to close the market has met widespread public outcry, with many questioning the constitutionality of the action. He added that this led to an instant outburst of protest in Onitsha, resulting in the complete shutdown of the city, a major commercial hub and transit point for the southeast and south-south regions, causing considerable concerns among stakeholders. Governor Soludo said the state government could no longer tolerate what he described as calculated economic sabotage. He stated this during a press briefing at the Lighthouse, Oka, on Wednesday, declaring that the sit-at-home ended in 2022. And here in Lagos State, residents of Lagos waterfront and informal communities are protesting what they describe as forceful and violent eviction by the state government, allegedly carried out under the guise of urban renewal. Protesters say thousands of families in arrears in areas including Makoko, Badia, Shogule, and parts of Ifako have been rendered homeless, a situation activists warn is becoming a humanitarian crisis. Our correspondent, Onyeka Ogolo, reports the story.
Peaceful protest is not a crime. But see how they are frustrating Nigerians. APC is more dangerous than bandits. No good. APC are terrorists. These people.
Residents in several waterfronts and informal communities in Lagos took to the street today protesting what they described as violent and forceful evictions carried out under the banner of urban development. The protesters accused the Lagos state government of ignoring court rulings that prohibited demolitions without clear resettlement plans. They also referenced a Supreme Court judgment which they say limits states' authority over inland waterways. Demonstrators claim that previous demolition exercise has led to deaths, including those of children and elderly residents, and warn that the actions are worsening the state's housing crisis by driving up rent and pricing workers and civil servants out of the markets. At the protest ground, right groups say thousands of families have been displaced in communities such as Makoko, Badia, Shobunle, and parts of Ifako. They warn that demolitions are deepening homelessness and contributing to growing number of out-of-school children in Lagos. The group also alleged that residents were not consulted before the demolitions and accused the government of failing to properly utilize funds meant for the development and upgrading of the Makoko community. Meanwhile, civil society groups organizations rejected claims by the state government that non-governmental groups are benefiting from Makoko, describing the allegation as a distraction from the need to provide housing for the displaced residents. Tension escalated as journalists at the scene reported that the leading protester coordinator was dragged away by police officers, while protesters accused security operatives of blocking access to the State House of Assembly. The protest ended in chaos as police dispersed demonstrators with tear gas, forcing residents and journalists to flee the area. From the State House of Assembly, I am Monica Ogola reporting for VOP TV.
Well, thank you so very much, Onyeka, for that report. Moving on, the Democratic Socialist Movement is demanding the immediate and unconditional release of Hassan Taiwo Soweto and other protesters arrested during a demonstration at the Lagos State House of Assembly. In response, the Assembly has denied allegation that lawmakers ignored protesters or approved the use of force during the Makoko protest, describing the report as misleading and capable of inflaming public tension. Well, in the meantime, the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Jimo Oluhondare, has denied claims that officers shot at residents protesting home demolition. Speaking on a television interview, Oluhondare insisted that no firearm was discharged during the demonstration at the Lagos State House of Assembly in Alausa, amid reports that a protester was shot in the leg. In another developments, the Kano state government says the lingering emirate tussle will soon be resolved amicably. Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs Ibrahim Waya told newsmen that measures are already in place to restore lasting peace and stability in the state. He said the government is committed to dialogue with all stakeholders and stressed that the administration will ensure the dispute does not generate tension or affect governance. Waya added that the approach respects the rule of law, traditional institution, and the collective interest of Kano residents. on Governor Abba Yusuf's defection to the APC. The commissioner described it as a development that would benefit the state, promising increased project, intervention, and dividend of democracy. Well, you're still watching the Midday News right here on Voice of the People Television. We'll go straight to the analysis segment of the news. And joining us now to make sense of these stories and more in the studio with us is Mr. Dele Fanimo. Mr. Fanimo is a seasoned reporter right here in Nigeria and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Mr. Fanimo, a very good afternoon to you and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
All right. Also joining us virtually is Mr. Sunday Oladapo. Mr. Sunday is also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator and also an ADC member. Mr. Sunday, a very good afternoon to you and thank you for joining the analysis segment of the Midday News.
Yeah, good afternoon and thank you for having me. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
Thank you so very much for joining the conversation. Well, let me start off with you, Mr. Sunday. There is a conversation surrounding the Kano Emirate tussle. I strongly believe that you are aware of that particular situation, but the Kano state government has clearly said that right now they are clearly getting close to a position of solving that tussle amicably without any rancor between the two warring factors, as it were. Some would say this should be some cheering news for the Emirates because it's been long coming, particularly in the part that government should have interfered long enough for that level of tussle not to even escalate to what we are seeing it look like right now. What's your position with this news story? And then how would you take this news? Because some have said it's a major cheering news coming from the Kano state government.
To me, is neither here nor there because it's been political. If you recall, when the dethroned MI was there, it was removed via political undertone by the governor splitting the throne, the Emirates into like 3 or I think 5. So, and when the new government of the man that is just the campaign into APC now came in, they saw it as a ploy to get back the power from the APC that were there then, that under which the first issue happened. And immediately, Sanusi was making a very beautiful comeback, even won first in the first court of instance, before the present MR also win again. So making it a confusion breakbone thing. So if the new governor now realigning with the center, because the rumor we had then was that the center was okay with the present Emirates and not in support of Sanusi. So if that is the case and he's now going to APC, then I think it's good if they can try to resolve it. But how they will resolve is what we need to be attentive to study. Is it that they will go on with the 5 Emirates, or they are going to beg the man there now to step down, or they are going to have 2 of them reign at the same time? So it's a thing to study and look at. So if it's a sharing news, well, the Kano people will know.
All right, then. Let me bring this conversation back to the studio here. Mr. Fanimo, this conversation about having to settle these disputes within the Emirates and Kano has been long overdue, according to some quarters, because it's a political thing that should have been resolved even from the state government. But right now, the government is saying, as it stands, we will be going into an approach that respects the rule of law, traditional institution, and most importantly, it would not create any more tension. With this kind of news, should we cheer for the government of Kano, who again, some have said is trying to buy the goodwill of the people because of its defection to the APC? What do you make of this, Mr. Fanimo?
Yusuf is not porting to APC, as it were, because it's done with NNPP.
Okay.
It's not porting because
the people of Kano loves APC more than NPP is now plotting to spite Kwakwanso. And finally, is not plotting for the good of the people of Kano State. He left that party, NNPP, because of his survival instinct.
Survival as a sitting governor?
Yes, I'll tell you. The first law of nature is self-preservation.
Right.
No governor, forget about all those shenanigans and all those posturing, will do first time and will not want to go back the second time. And Yusuf is not an exception. Yusuf wants to have another shot at the government house. And the way the NNPP is rupturing, it may be too late for him when those things begins to mature.
So sorry to butt in here. Are you saying that he is seeing the handwriting on the wall, particularly the fact that Kwankwaso also has more followers than he is, and it's not going to guarantee him a second term in office? Is that what this is all about?
No, you see, Kwankwaso has his eye on moving to APC.
Okay.
But the conditions precedent to his movement to APC is not clear yet.
And so he's still also not
he's
in
still,
the
you know. So everybody is just testing waters. Yusuf wants second term. That's why he's also remembering now that the Emirates imbroglio has to be resolved. Knowing fully well that he's coming there to meet Ganduje.
Okay.
Because Ganduje is still a member of APC.
Right.
And if he gets to APC, he needs to contend with Ganduje. So the only way to ride a little bit higher than Ganduje is to resolve the Emirates crisis. Now, the one I said, it is for his own personal reasons to maximize gains and ensure that he gets back in 2027. There is no political party as it stands today, apart from the one in ICU, that does not have one life-threatening disease or the other. And so, if you are traveling at 100 kilometers per hour, and you notice that the driver of that vehicle and the vehicle has a problem that may not take you to the next destination, what do? You disembark and join a better vehicle that will take you to a destination without hitches. That's what Yusuf and his co-travelers that are deporting to APC, that's what they are doing. So that settles why Yusuf is coming to APC. Because APC is the only vehicle that is sure to take any candidate to the next election. As it is today, I don't know what will happen the next 24 hours.
Oh, well.
Now, to the Emirates Council issue.
Yes.
Don't forget that it was Ganduje that disrupted the norm in Kano by creating 4 Emirates in defiance to the Emir of Kano. Now, Yusuf came and restored the power of the Kano Emirates and subsumed the other creation by Ganduje under the authority of the Emir of Kano. And emirship in the north is an institution on its own. So with that, he has scored a point amongst the people that he has upheld the culture and tradition of
the state.
But there is still a problem.
Which is?
The ousted emir still parades himself, Bayero, as the authentic emir.
Well,
Sanusi is also parading himself, for good reason, as emir.
Now,
he needs to resolve that before the election.
Okay.
And how he's going to manage that crisis is yet to be determined.
Now,
usually when you depose an emir
Yes.
or an oba or obi, whichever one applies, you are not supposed to allow that deposed person to remain in that community. Usually they banish them. When Sultan Mashido was dethroned, he was banished.
Yes. Now, looking at the fact that the governor has clearly stated that this is going to be a conversation that would be for the interest of Kano residents, plus the fact that as it stands, he has so much in his hands. The Kwankwasiyas are also coming after him, clearly saying that, look, you betrayed our trust, we gave you this ticket, and now you are going behind us to join a party that we have nothing to do with. Do you think that the statement by the Kano state government is anything to go by? Judging with the fact that the elections, of course, we know is by the corner, and with all of the baggages around the governor, would he be able to resolve this? Maybe in 30 seconds.
He will.
Oh, you think so?
He will resolve it. Because there are some things that dictate where the barometer swings. And one of it is liquid and raw cash.
All right, then. Well, because of our time, really, let's jump to another conversation. And I want to start with you before we go to Mr. Sunday. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, I'm talking about Jimoh Oluwandare, has said that the police officers did not fire at residents who were protesting at the Alausa State House of Assembly. But the footages we saw a couple of minutes ago said something different, because people were running and there was quite some people that were gasping for breath and all of that. If that is not what is the reality, what do you think the Commissioner of Police is hinging on to publicly make this statement, owing to the fact that we saw something different from the footages that was brought to us a couple of minutes ago?
For me, if the footage we saw is anything to go by, the police acted professionally at the State House of Assembly during that protest.
Okay.
You could see that they mounted a barricade and they were not entangled with the protesters. That's the call of duty. That's what they should do at that moment. And don't forget, the least person that could command the men on ground at that point is likely to be ACB Ops, Assistant Commissioner in charge of operations, or area commander, which is also the same rank with the ACB Ops. And at that level, the ACB Ops or area commander has that power of discretion to perfectly read the situation and be proactive in making sure that such protest does not degenerate into a crisis, a violent one for that matter. And the minimal thing you could use to disperse crowd is the tear gas. Tear gas will not kill you, it can only demobilize you to some extent. And except for one person that says somebody died of gunshot.
Right.
But generally, if it was true that somebody died of gunshot, we should have that person mentioned.
All right then.
So the police did a perfect job.
All right then. Well, again, I want to. All right, before I come back to you, let me take it to Mr. Sunday. I understand that you're still with us, Mr. Sunday. Well, looking at the footages, I don't know if my producers are ready. Can we have that footage again of the reports by Onyeka Ogolo, our correspondent right here in VOP TV? Now, the concerns are being raised about the fact that the protesters clearly marched to the National Assembly, the State Assembly, I beg your pardon, and they were asking for the assembly members at least to respond to them. Now, as a result of the silence of the assembly members not coming to them, whatever it degenerated to, we cannot talk about it right now. But let's talk about the way that the police dispersed the protesters. Some have said right call. I mean, Mr. Fanimo here did say they did a perfect job. I mean, the least at which the police should use is a tear gas. But the assembly has clearly said that they did not, the lawmakers have said they did not ignore the protesters. And of course, they did not also approve the use of force during the protest, describing the protest and the reports as misleading and capable of inflaming public tension. What's your position with these conversations, Mr. Sunday?
Yeah, thank you. The thing is this, until people in position of power, democratically elected, understand that they are in those offices for the people, because the democracy is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, in this type of a scenario, the lawmaker representing that area is supposed to even lead that protest, because that is what your people want, and that is where you are standing in for. Once in the case where the elected seems to believe that they are not chosen by the majority of people you represent, this is what you get. In such a scenario, there is no point for police coming. I doubt any constituent, any member of that constituency will see their representative and go and be against such person. I believe they would have been happy. It would have been nice if the rep representing there has attended to them, speak with them, tell them what he or she has been doing to support and end that plight. Instead of them staying in the AC and telling the police to, the police need to understand that we're in a democracy. This is not an autocratic government where protest is illegal. So people have right to show their concerns. But I believe the assembly members, especially that person, that honorable representing that constituency, has not managed this well at all.
All right, then. Well, let me still stay with you, Mr. Sunday. And these protesters also cited a particular Supreme Court ruling, which I'm going to read to you, because the Supreme Court ruling was on January the 5th, 2025, and significantly impacted the regulation of inland waterways in Lagos. Now, the court upheld the National Inland Waterways Authorities, that's NIWA, as the sole regulatory authority over Nigeria's inland waterways, which of course includes Lagos State. Now, are the protesters right on these protests? That's one part. And then on the part of the state government, did you think they did well enough to not only take these people off where they say it's a dangerous place for them to stay, but did not provide an alternative for them? Or do you think they gave them ample time enough to have evacuated the place before they started taking them out one after the other?
Yeah, don't forget that Lagos is same with the government at the center. Even if NIWA, that's the federal the federal agency in charge of water, and which had that judgment with them, I believe that in terms of party governments, and they will not come to tell you that they didn't authorize Lagos to embark on that action. So even if they never did, because it's the same government at the center and in Lagos, they will try to see how they can use some ideas to cover that up. Being as it may, a government of the people will not just wake up and tell you that people need to go to hell. Look at what happened in a particular place in the north where there was misfiring of the military hardware, I think the Air Force, Recently, I saw the news of what the president has done there, giving them brand new houses, building roads, just to make it like to effect or cushion the effect of the blast on the houses of the people.
Right.
So I believe that governance should be a planned thing. If Lagos know that this Makoko is going to be going in the next 6 months, what about getting houses, even if it's going to be a family to a flat instead of a family to a building? You can do that. By the time you come there to evacuate them, the people will not have any major issue than to move. But now there's no provision, and you just go there and tell them this place is not safe. Okay, where is safe that you want to provide for them?
All right, then. Well, let me bring this conversation to the studio while we wrap it up. Mr. Fanimo, this same question is what I'm going to ask you. Reactiveness against proactiveness by government. The Makoko community, again, a question of what other measure did the state government put in place for these residents before evacuating them or sending them out of that area? Plus the Supreme Court judgment. What do you make of this whole story?
You see, going by the Supreme Court judgment, it's difficult to interpret. The Land Use Act places land in a state under the state governor.
Right.
Now, the new law upheld by the Supreme Court says all waterways should be ceded to the government of the Federation.
Yes.
Now, is Makoko not part of Lagos State?
But
is the riverine area of Makoko not part of the waterways? So I leave that to the court.
Well,
I leave that to the court.
I'm being told by my producer that we really have to call it a day. This is where we have to draw anchor on the analysis segment. I want to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Daily Fanimo, seasoned reporter,
my pleasure,
and of course, public and political affairs commentator. Also, Mr. Sunday Oladapo, thank you so very much for joining the conversation. ADC member and also political and public affairs analyst. Thank you so very much for chiming in on the conversation. We'll take a very quick break right now. When we return, unprofessional conduct, Ngige faces allegation over 80 million naira contract. This and more when we return after this break. Please stay with us. Glad to have you back, and it's still the midday news right here at Voice of the People Television. Now to more stories. A witness in the trial of former Anambra State Governor and former Minister of Labor, Chris Ngige, has told the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Gwarinpa, Abuja, that an 80 million naira contract for the NSITF Makurdi office was awarded to a company that did not bid for it. The disclosure was contained in a statement posted on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's X handle. The witness, Pedro Toworse Chelin, said that his company competed for the contract but later petitioned the EFCC after discovering the alleged irregularity. According to the statement, Chelin, an entrepreneur, told the court that the contract was awarded under Ngige's oversight. He said after failing to get clarification from NSITF management, he approached the Bureau of Public Procurement, which confirmed that the company awarded the contract did not participate in the bidding process. Elsewhere, academic activities have been grounded in the Federal Capital Territory as the Joint Union Action Committee continues its strike, now in its second week. The action, which began last Monday, involves several unions, including the Nigerian Union of Teachers, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, the FCT Water Board, and the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees. The unions are demanding payments of 5 months' wage awards and the resolution of 14 other outstanding issues. The NUT has directed teachers in FCT primary and secondary school to stay away from classrooms, citing unpaid pension and National Housing Fund deductions, as well as concerns over salary centralizations. Residents say the strike is already affecting education and daily life. Our correspondent in Abuja, Nadozie Obinna, has more in this report.
Reacting to the incident, the residents of Abuja Metropolis, including an SS3 student, got time, Mr. Ibe Azubike, Mr. Jeremiah Baba, Miriam Zubairu, and Kadijat Musa said that the activities have affected the students. They appealed to government to dialogue with workers to stop the strike. Recall that the agencies included in the strike are the Abuja Environmental Protection Board, AEPB, the FCT Water Board, the Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees, NULGE, among others.
Our wiki is trying, but first, those that are working, where they are not being paid, there's no food for them, and they cannot be able to work, and the work will stand still.
It's really affecting us now that we are in SS3. The government has to pay so that we can move on with something, so that we can catch up with our reserve. If not, it will affect us the most.
Government is not doing well in the issue of strike, because with the scenario of what we are seeing today, we don't expect this government to go on strike, because the children now are not learning. As they are not learning, there are other sections of FCT workers which they are on strike, which is not giving a good name on the FCT, especially FCT. We have never witnessed this kind of strike. 1 week off, 1 month off, and one work on, which is wrong. In fact, the government should do something. The government should call out the strike where the children can embark on their studies, because it's not giving us a good record.
Are not entering class, and the workers that is working, they are not paying them.
Our teachers don't enter our class, and we don't write because of this strike. Please, we need our government to help us pay our teachers the salaries.
A lot has been happening. See security, a lot. And we're talking about the civil servant not being paid. And the minister is not even coming up with any solution. Some of us that are into business will just stand by the side and be watching things. When it is not going good for the civil servant, business will not move. So it will still affect the economy in a little way or in a big way. So I'm only advising the government to do the needful. Call these people, call them, let them have a kind of dialogue so that this thing will be solved once and for all.
Well, thank you so very much, Nadozie, for that report. Moving on to other stories, the Delta State Police Command has arrested a 41-year-old man, Ogenewo Gaga Emmanuel, over the alleged sexual abuse of 2 underage girls. Police say the suspect invited the minors, aged 12 and 13, to his residence earlier this month, where the incident allegedly occurred before it was reported. Our correspondent, Rhoda Johnny, has more in this report.
The Delta State Police Command has arrested a 41-year-old man, Ogenewo Gaga Emmanuel, for allegedly sexually abusing 2 underage girls, aged 12 and 13, in the states. The incident reportedly occurred earlier this month after the suspect invited the minors into his residence. Police said the case was reported and promptly investigated, leading to the suspect's arrest.
We got a report around Agbaro that a certain man was defiling 2 young underage girls, one 13 and the other one 12 years old. It's a pity I cannot put the camera on the victim. It's very sad, because when you look at this man here and you look at the victim, you would wonder, what does a 41-year-old man find attractive on the body of a 12-year-old girl? I just want us to hear her voice a bit. You know this man here? Okay. What did this man do to you?
He slapped me.
For where?
For a ass.
For a house. You and who go the house that day?
Now the girl, Favor.
How old is she?
13.
13. So now both of you now sleep with that day?
Yes.
Alright. But you know, you report them to anybody?
No.
So how police can't they find out?
During questioning, The suspect reportedly confessed to the act, while authorities condemned the incident.
Okay, what's your name?
Honorable Gaga Emmanuel.
How old are you?
41.
41. You get children?
Yes.
How old is your child?
My senior girl are 19 years.
Your senior girl are 19 years. This child you were sleeping with, how old is she?
12.
12. You just found out today, Abi?
Yes.
But as at the time you saw her, around what age you think say she will be?
I know answer for you.
She look like person without reach 18 years?
No.
All right. So tell me, how come you started sleeping with this child?
Now that's a friend when he come meet me.
Okay. How old is that friend?
No, no, 14 years that one.
Forget. The information is that she's 13 years. So both of them did what?
Come my house.
Come do wetin?
Come meet me.
Why they come meet you? How they take know you?
Nah, that girl I know, New Year. That's a friend. Now me know.
You don't sleep with that one before that day, Abi?
No, only once. Don't be saying.
Wait, okay, you sleep with that one once before that day.
Yeah.
Okay, so now when she came with this little girl, now what you gonna do both of them for your house?
I can't sleep with both of them.
And confirmed that the identities of the victims are being protected. The police assured the public that the suspect will be prosecuted and urged communities to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities. From VOP TV, I am Rhoda Jani.
Well, thank you so very much, Rhoda, for that report. From there on, let's move to some business stories. The federal government says it is lowering entry cost in the latest oil bid rounds to boost transparency, production, and attract investment. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission announced during a pre-bid webinar that the signature bonus for the 2025 licensing round has been reduced to $3.7 million, down from $10 million in 2024, and far below the roughly $200 million required several years ago. A total of 50 oil and gas blocks are up for grabs, including 15 onshore, 19 shallow water, 15 frontier basins, and 1 deep water block. The move aims to increase oil output from 1.5 million barrels per day to 2.7 million by 2027, boosting government revenue reserves and investment inflows. The NUPRC said the focus will be on technical expertise, credible work programs, financial strength, and timely production. CEO Orisha Mayewa Eyesen assured investors that the changes, her first since taking office in December, will provide a stable and predictable regulatory environment. Still talking business, the Naira recorded its third consecutive gain against the US dollar on Wednesday. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria showed the Naira rose to 1,448 kobo per dollar at the official market, up from 1,401 Naira 22 kobo the previous day, a daily gain of 74 kobo. At the parallel market, the Naira strengthened by 5, reaching 1,485 Naira per dollar, up from 1,490 Naira on Tuesday. Analysts say the gain comes as Nigeria's foreign reserve grew to $46.04 billion as of January 26, 2026. Tuesday had marked the Naira's highest daily gain against the dollar in months. And from business, we go straight to sports, where the Confederation of African Football has sanctioned Senegal and host Morocco after this order marred the AFCON 2025 final in Rabat, Morocco. CAF said its disciplinary board punished players, officials, and federations for breaching the CAF disciplinary code during and after the match, which Senegal won by 1-0 after extra time. Protests, pitch confrontations, and crowd unrest followed a controversial VAR decision late in the game. Senegal coach Pape Bouana Theo was handed a 5-match ban suspension and fined $100,000 for unsporting conduct. Players Iliman Ndiaye and Ismail Assar received 2-match bans, while the Senegal Federation was fined $615,000. For Morocco, defender Ashraf Hakimi got a 2-match suspension, one suspended for a year. Midfielder Ismail Sabari received a 3-match ban and a $100,000 fine. The Moroccan Federation was fined $315,000 for misconduct involving officials, ball boys, and supporters. CAF also dismissed Morocco's protest alleging regulatory breaches by Senegal, ruling the complaint lacked merit. The final turned chaotic after a VAR awarded penalty to Morocco, with Senegalese players briefly walking off the pitch. Play resumed after 20 minutes and Senegal's goalkeeper Edouard Mendy saved the penalty before Pape Gueye scored in extra time to secure Senegal's historic win. And for sports, to some entertainment stories, where Nollywood actress Angela Okorie has been remanded at the Suleja Correctional Center over allegation of defaming fellow actress Mercy Johnson. An Abuja court ordered her remand following her arrest. The development was disclosed by Nollywood filmmaker Stanley On Top, who criticized the judicial process, and accused Mercy Johnson of intimidation. Stanley On Top also argued that the defamation is a civil matter and urged that due process be followed. Still in entertainment, American YouTuber and live stream star Darren Watkins, popularly known as I Show Speed, has been granted Ghanaian citizenship following a month-long tour across Africa. Ghana's Foreign Affairs Minister Sam Okudzedo Oblakwa announced that the 21-year-old influencer was issued a Ghanaian passport after what he described as confirmation of I Show Speed's irrefutable ties to the country. The move aligns with Ghana's Beyond the Return initiative, aimed at strengthening ties with African diaspora and encouraging people of African descent to formalize their connection to the country. Ablakwa said the decision followed engagements highlighting the streamer's growing relationship with Ghana and Africa through cultural interactions and online content. He also praised I Show Speed for projecting Ghana and the continent positively to the global audience, describing him as a fitting ambassador. And with that entertainment story, we've come to the end of the midday news right here on Voice of the People Television. Do want to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Thank you so very much for being a part of this broadcast. I am David Edwin. Do have a good afternoon.
VOP TV, now